All right, a little late on this podcast, but we get it out today nonetheless. Welcome to the Claw Pod. My name is the AntMan. Next to me is Ross. Next to him, his brother Marshall. So they say the brothers. I don't know. I don't know. There's been a paternity test or anything like that. Shows that you're related.
Man. Today we feel like brothers, but that could change.
Okay.
Ross needs to lose the two, to be honest with you.
Well, and if you notice if you looked at the thumbnail for this episode, they're officially back. From last Saturday through this past, Tuesday, the taping of Dynamite, the Von Erichs are back in AEW and back in the ring. And that's what we're going to talk about today, man. It was a fun experience getting to see you guys on Tuesday there shooting. And I always have to be careful when I say shooting photographs and video for you guys, for us, and for AEW at Dynamite. And but man, a fun time is always had at the HEB Center, and I know you guys weren't. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, walking back out with a 6-man. There was some action on both with your partner as a 6-man champion taking on MJF. But let's start at the very beginning. Let's start on Saturday, Collision. That was really your first time back in AEW in a while, especially first time since you. What is that one, Marshall? What is that? Hang on, let's take you full screen so we can see these.
There's.
Okay.
I would grab more, but I don't have anywhere to put them. I'm sorry.
What's the one on your left arm?
Oh, Goldie right here. This is
Goldie. Yes.
Yeah, this is RCW tag team champions.
Got it.
I think longest reigning, possibly.
Okay.
And this whole thing right here, 6-man.
And then your 6-man. Yeah. Let's
if you got Google, you probably know.
Let's start on last Saturday, Collision. That was just outside of Houston. This is your first time back, and I honestly I didn't get a chance to watch Collision. So tell me, from the time you get there to the time we meet up on Tuesday, what went down? How was it being back?
I remember like it was yesterday.
Do you? Got it.
It almost was yesterday, so I would hope so.
Let's start with you. What was it like?
Russ, you hit the bullet points.
Yeah.
It was good, man. It's good just to get back and get our feet wet a little bit. And we had a 12-man outrunners on our team. Man, it was just good just to mix it up with the guys and just kind of knock the rust off a little bit. So, and it was in Texas. Good fun. Good people. Good time.
Yep. So you hadn't seen most of these guys in what? I mean, how long had it been? It'd been since November?
A while, man.
October, November.
It's crazy what has changed too. There was a little bit. A lot of the guys, like, bodies fluctuated, stuff like that. Time went by. But what was cool is Outrunners. We've gotten pretty close to them as just like friends. We got a lot in common and stuff. And seeing them how much they've gone up just since we've left, just from those Arlington shows that we did. They get such a great response with the crowd, and I just love their gimmick. The 80s, the youngest men alive, the grizzled vets. They got it all.
So is it like a reunion when you've been gone like that, seeing some of those guys again?
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's like wrestlers. You run into each other quite a bit in the locker rooms and stuff. Like, we have guys like Fuego del Sol. He's been almost every Texas show we do. He's been somewhere, either on the card or stuff. So it's like you get used to seeing these guys. And when you go a long period of time without seeing them, you start missing them. You really do. And so seeing Fuego was so good. Sammy Guevara, you're getting to see Dustin, of course, but someone we've really grown really, really close to is the Rhodes boys, Dustin's nephews. We're building a relationship with those kids, man, and it's unbelievable how similar. Just we see ourselves so hard in them, and hearing them talk and hearing how they bounce ideas off each other. We lose track of time when we talk with them, because there's just it's like. We always pray, like, man, what if we could talk to our young selves? What would we say? What would we do?
And here you kind of are. Yeah.
Yeah. It really does feel like and they listen to everything we say. If we say, we try not to throw too much at them. When you're a young wrestler, after a match, you're the most vulnerable when you're walking back into the curtains. It's such like a vulnerable moment. And you can tell who has experience and who doesn't. Cause the last thing a wrestler needs to hear is, or at least for Ross and I, is don't immediately hit them with the critiques as soon as they hit the curtain. If if you saw anything good that they've done, mention that. We like to do the praise first, and then after that's settled, you start pointing out some stuff and see what they've noticed themselves and all that stuff. But man, I see so much in those kids.
Let's get some kind of a base. Tell me, what are the guys' names? The Rhodes boys.
Dylan and I gotta get there. 1 second. We and Ross are horrible with names. I thought Ross would come save me.
So am I, man.
I know.
So I'm terrible.
Hey, we love him so much. I should know this here. I would do it real quick.
It's Champ and Haas, right?
Champ and Buddy.
Yeah, Champ and Buddy.
Yeah. So Wyatt is the younger one.
Okay.
I think Wyatt and Dylan, I believe, if I remember right. Wayne and Wyatt. Wayne's
Wyatt.
the older brother.
Okay, so Wayne and Wyatt Rhodes. Now you said they are Dustin's nephews. So who are their parents?
So Dustin's little sister's boys.
Yeah, Dustin and Cody's sisters. Yeah. Son.
What's her? Do you remember her name?
Ross talked to her for like an hour.
Man,
surely
you know what?
he remembers his.
Okay.
I'm terrible with names, but yeah, great. Yeah, she was great. She reminds me a lot of our sister, actually. Okay. And nice. and we almost just have like an automatic like
connection,
big brother relationship with those guys. And to see him go out there in front of that Texas crowd and to be so well received, and then just to do their thing out there, it's just really cool to watch.
Dude,
did they wrestle on the Houston show?
Her name is?
What's that?
I'm sorry. So Dustin's sister reminded us so much of our sister Kristen. Her name's Kristen. Okay. Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Of course, man.
How do you not remember her name?
Yeah, I know. What the heck, man?
Okay. I think if I would have heard that, maybe I didn't even ever.
Yeah. Ross, you had one job, dude.
I would have remembered that.
You're the name guy.
So Wayne and Wyatt, were they on the Houston show too?
No. Just they've been on every Austin show for AW that we've been. They do dark matches and stuff. Yeah. But that's why I asked. I saw them on this show, and we'll get to Austin here in just a second. So I was wondering if they also took the Houston. No, we didn't see them. Well. Wish, I love seeing them, and it's just a good conversation every time.
Yeah. Well, and Marshall, let me ask you this. I know that that you had some clearing to do when you got to Austin, but you actually wrestled before some of that in Houston, right? Did you guys wrestle in Houston? You say you have a 12-man, right?
Yep.
Yes. How did it feel being back in the ring, actually taking a bump, actually hitting someone else?
Man, it felt so good. I wish they would prep you better when a guy gets injured. He really doesn't know. A guy that's never been injured doesn't really know just the mental warfare you're going to go through when you're injured. Yeah. And, it was really difficult. I feel really bad for guys that, have really, really long recovery times and all that. So,
sure.
Getting in there, of course, there's a little bit of that question mark, like, what if it happens? What if it happens again? And, I really feel like we're being called by God. And so I'm gonna go out there. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to take care of this vessel that God's given me. I'm going to stretch as best I can and not, I want to completely go all out. I don't want to, fight as though I'm protecting something. And so I completely let loose and all that stuff. I didn't throw a drop kick, which I was kind of mad at myself for, because I think that's the biggest question mark.
Sure. Yeah.
Is
that's how you got hurt, right?
Yes.
Or when you got hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get to let's fast forward to Austin or just outside of Austin, Cedar Park. That was HEB Center for Dynamite. You guys get there. We saw I'm sure most of you follow the guys on Instagram. You posted a story of you guys rolling up to home, as you called it, HEB Center in Cedar Park.
You saw that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it had to feel good walking through those doors, and you saw the guys the previous Saturday, but now they're in your house, kind of. And but you said you saw, you talked to Wayne and Wyatt. First, let's start with your clearing. So you had to actually do a match with nobody watching except for the doctor, right, Marshall?
Yeah. So I guess they do that for anybody that's coming back from an injury. It's like a mock match, a 5-minute, 5-minute little thing. And there's a few other guys, maybe like one or two, that were also coming back from injury. And so they'll like partner you up with one of them. And they asked me if I wanted to partner up with Ross. And Ross looked at each other and we're like, we're good. And he's like, oh, why is it difficult? And I was like, since we're brothers, we're gonna lose our temper like instantly, and y'all are gonna wonder why we're going all out.
We're gonna have to break us up.
I'm gonna take out some frustration if I fight.
I remember in Japan they asked us to do they asked everybody to partner up, and so we were there with Bravado Brothers. They partner up, so Ross and I had to partner up, and we're doing forum exchange or whatever. And it was so loud, everybody stopped their drills and was watching me and Ross
smacking each other so hard.
Yeah.
Man, but so you see, did you throw a drop kick in that one?
No, I haven't thrown a drop kick since. I really haven't yet. So I'm just waiting for feel sorry for the guy that's getting it. There's a lot of pent up anger and question.
Well, you brought the Rhodes brothers up, and that was the first time that I've seen them live. They did a dark match, one of the matches before Dynamite started the taping, and I don't remember who they took, but I'll be honest, first time seeing them, I was very impressed, not only with what they were doing in the ring, which I'll get to here in a second, but the pop they got when they came out.
Yes,
I mean that crowd knew who these guys were, and they didn't emphasize the name Rhodes when they said it either.
Yeah.
And Justin always does a great job of introducing people, but I didn't catch Rhodes the first time when I heard him say it. I just kind of, okay, dude, I think that is Cody and Dustin's nephews. And
one of them kind of looks like Cody too. The older one. The older one does.
Dark hair.
Yeah, dark hair. Dark hair.
He looks like a heel Cody, right?
He does. He looks like heel Cody. And what's weird is he, personality-wise, he really acts just like Ross. And Wayne is so much like I was when but just so much like I was when I was younger, the blonde one. And when we were watching him in his match, Ross and I were just praying, like, because we wanted the comeback to mean a lot. Yeah. The big brother was getting the sympathy from the fans hardcore. He was getting it. And so
completely agreed. I know you guys can attest to this more than I can, obviously, but there's some things that you find yourself doing in the ring that it just naturally happens just because you've been around it. Does that happen to you guys?
Definitely.
Watched it your whole life? Like, the comeback and selling and what have you, some of that stuff, it felt really natural with them.
It does. And, so Ross and I, when we first started wrestling, we didn't follow any formula or anything. We didn't try to, we didn't look at wrestling like that. We looked at it as just a set of moves. Right. And okay, I guess our mindset was start off with small moves, end with bigger moves. And we were stuck in that mindset because in Japan, they didn't really explain psychology to us, and there's a language barrier, all that. But that's the stuff that, honestly, when we went to Israel, went to the wall, we asked, we both put our pieces of paper, you put a prayer in there and shove it in the wall. And we both prayed for wisdom and professional wrestling. God will unlock the doors. And what's weird is since 2025, I promise, it's like this stuff's being revealed to us. We've never understood wrestling. So it's so much. And I remember my dad telling me, son, when you get it, it's going to be so easy. Son, when you get it, it's going to be so easy. And I just like, Dad, I really don't know what a good match feels like. This is like in 2012, 2013. And then now it all makes sense. And I'm talking to Ross about matches, and it's just crazy. We probably sound crazy to strangers, but the conversation we have to make a match, we can make a match in about 5 minutes. And we're not saying any moves at all. We're just talking about, just the formula of it, the main storyline, big outline.
Yeah. It was cool to watch those guys. I even was telling somebody else about them before we were talking today. I said, man, I was really impressed first time seeing those guys. And I've seen pictures of them. I've seen Dustin talk about them because I know they're part of Dustin's. I think they're actually the tag champs of the school there and the promotion in Austin. And
I think they're tag champs already. That's awesome, man.
I think now I may be wrong on that.
I think you're right because Dustin did say that. Dustin said they were they're champs.
Okay. Well, I thought, man, these guys aren't getting all the attention just because their last name's Rhodes. It's because they're good in the ring.
Yeah,
and they're really good in the ring.
They're likable. Absolutely. They have charisma, 100%. And that the blonde brother, that mullet, man. It's I love the mullet. Yeah.
Well,
that power slam was crazy though. The power slam he gave was crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought also they kind of have an old school, a throwback look as well. Like you said, with the mullet, but he's also wearing the boots, the cowboy boots, wrestling boots. You know,
it's hard to find young guys that want to do that. But we were talking to him like, hey, what is one thing you've noticed that AEW, I mean, the AEW, you think you can offer AEW, something that you think it's missing that you could bring, you know, and it's hard. You can't say they need some 80s guys. You got the Outrunners that are like the definition of 80s wrestlers.
Sure. Yep.
You know,
Absolutely.
And Anthony, you I don't know if you already had, but go to their Instagram and watch some of their posts. They're hilarious. I really cannot even like stare at those guys for like longer than 5 seconds without laughing. I love them. But the Rhodes boys, they get it too. They get it. They're embracing the 80s, that 80s feel. And I honestly think 80s, they're coming back. I think that time in wrestling, that storytelling wrestling, people enjoy it just like when you watch a UFC fight. When you just watch two guys that you don't know fight, you're not pulled in. But when you just know a little bit about them, you feel more invested or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. And well, and then your partner, your 6-man tag partner, Dustin, had a really big match, and I think this was. I didn't watch back Dynamite since I was there live. I didn't watch it back when it aired. So I don't know when this match actually happened, but I would guess it would be when the crossover. They always do these kind of matches. It's not the main event. It's the crossover from the top of the hour. And my guess is that's when this happened. But Dustin Rhodes and MJF. I'll be honest, I'm disappointed that this is not ongoing. It felt like at the end of the match that it's all moving to MJF and Hangman Adam Page, because I still saw some life left in a feud between Dustin and MJF.
I would have loved to see Dustin and Max get a little bit longer, run to, flesh that whole thing out. But yeah, man, it was a great match. Yeah.
You hear some of Dustin's promos too, man. Like he doesn't half-ass anything. Everything has purpose. And when you meet a guy that he has a crazy past, struggle, addiction, all this stuff, and when he said he's been to hell and back, you believe him. You look at his face because he said that MJF's devil gimmick, and it was I don't know. Dustin is truly one of the wisest men I've met. He's got, amazing counsel, and his value to the AEW locker room is just so important. If I were Tony, I would keep him around forever, man. He's just, you need a guy like that. You need, and the men respect him. Everybody respects him. Everyone listens to Dustin.
Well, I want to ask you guys, because I think it's probably what a lot of people are thinking. I know this week and weekend they're in Australia and you guys are here at home. But when they get back, when's the next title defense with you guys and Dustin? Have any idea where that might go?
Ross and I
were coming soon.
We were talking about this, and us coming to AEW. I guess this would be the storyline wise, and how we feel is we came here because our brother needed help. Dustin, he had a target on his back, and so coming in there and winning belts, which was so unexpected. Definitely being a 6-man trio, that's like something that's definitely in the bucket list. And the fact we have accomplished that so early in our AEW careers it feels like such a blessing. And Ross and I want to put our full focus on this right now. Right now we're the 6-man belts. We feel like if we start focusing on the tag belts, right out the gate while holding the 6-man belts, it can be difficult, and you want to put your best foot forward. But if we feel the opportunity, of course we're gonna take it, and we owe it to Dustin to give our best. But when we do make our tag team run, because that's who we are, that's what we're here for. My brother and I, we're a permanent team. It's going to be serious, and we really, really have never felt how we feel right now. It never have been so secure, so sure. And it is our time. And I've talking to my brother. We had all day to talk in Austin. We circled that building 1,000 times and talking about the future and what God's doing, and just all of these answered prayers from me years ago. And it's in watching them all come right now is so humbling. And I wondered why at the time I was why not then? And you see now, why not then? I'm ready now. My feet are on the rock, and maybe I had too much zeal, you know, like Moses, God, use me now. So what does he do? He sends him out 40 years, you know.
Well, that's the best non-answer to my question of when you're going to be defending those again. But
I can avoid any question, brother.
Sometime when he gets back from Australia, though, I can't wait to. I mean, that's like you said, you want to focus on the 6-man titles right now. So I hope that's a priority for Tony, and Ring of Honor when they get back is to get in a program and get you guys back in the ring with your partner, Dustin Rhodes, and look forward to that. Now, we didn't get to see you on Dynamite. However, for the live audience, they got a treat and almost got, from what I understand, more than they paid for. That has to do with the pants that you borrowed, Marshall?
We both did. Ross and I did.
Oh, you both did. Okay. But
yeah.
I mean, Marshall,
speaking of the Rhodes boys, they kind of helped us with our wardrobe at the time. You know, we're like,
did you just not bring denim? You didn't bring jeans?
No, I wasn't expecting a run in, but now I'm ready. And then anytime there's a run in, you got to have the denim and the boots ready to go.
You'll always have your jeans on you now. Your Levi's are ready to go, right?
Absolutely.
Now, little snug for you, Marshall?
Yeah, you can tell, man. I was about an inch away from being a internet I guess not sensation, but yeah, almost
went viral almost. Yeah.
Showed some butt crack almost. Those pants, I couldn't pull them up enough, but yeah, it's the dump truck. Badonk. Too much butt for those pants.
But yeah, thanks to the Rhodes boys for the wardrobe help on that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
You got to ease up on them squats is what you got to do, Marshall.
It's less glutes, more squats.
You're supposed to be working on
the glutes.
Be working on your pecs.
Yeah, the pec. The doctor said, man, your pec looks horrible, but your glutes look great, brother.
Great doctor.
Well, I know this is a little shorter one than normal this week. Back next week, I'll give you a preview, and it's a surprise for these guys too. Not anything crazy, but we're going to be talking about heels next week. Not now. Hang on, I almost went Marshall on you. Ross, not talking about the shoes.
Shut your mouth, Ross. It's enough out of you, boy. Stand down.
I was just waiting for me to say heels and you and Marshall, you to razz Ross about wearing heels, but
man, it's early, man. It's early in the morning. That would have been great.
That's what it is. Next week, heels, best heels in the business and why. So look forward to discussing that with you guys. And of course, we talked about that just after talking about Dustin and MJF, because I think MJF has to fit in there somewhere. We'll find out where on each of our lists next week. So maybe think about this, your top 5 heels of all time and why. And we'll go into progression 5 to number 1 with all 3 of us. And then we'll also get your take as well. So if you want to go ahead and chime in on this one, who your favorite heel was or is, let us know. We'll read it back next week as we share ours here on the Claw Pod. If you're watching right now on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to this channel, we would love it if you did. And if you haven't visited theclawpod.com, that's the best place to stay in contact with everybody here on the show. You can watch the podcast there. You can listen to the podcast there. You can get other stories as well, and even sign up to get some exclusive content just from us, only if you sign up at theclawpod.com. Guys, good to see you.
Thank you, guys. Good to see you
in the ring again, and I can't wait to see what happens with you guys and Dustin when they get back from Australia. That'll be fun.
Oh man, yeah, either man. God bless you, everybody. Keep watching. We're excited.
Yes, sir. We'll see you next time here on the Claw Pod.